Because we are discussing writing formal letters, it is very important for us to understand the difference between one very important phrase that is quite often used in letters of complaint or letters when we write letters to the editors of newspaper. There is one phrase that is often wrongly used interchangeably. Concerned. Consider the difference between concerned, authority, and authority, concerned. There is a huge difference between these two phrases. Lot of difference. Now consider the first phrase, which is concerned authority. Concerned authority means relevant official. Relevant official. No, sorry, it doesn't mean relevant official. It means, this phrase means relevant official. Relevant official. In case of a complaint regarding the supply of electricity, the authority concerned would be the engineer in the electricity department. If there is a problem in water supply, then the authority concerned would be the officials in waterworks department. So authority concerned means relevant official. Concerned authority, if I use the word concerned or adjective concerned before authority, it means worried authority or worried official. So you see, I cannot use these two phrases interchangeably. And more often I end up using concerned authority in a manner I shouldn't. So this is the difference between the two phrases, authority concerned and concerned authority, and a judicious use of these two have to be used. So coming back to writing formal letters. So we were discussing the opening and closing sentences in case of a letter of complaint. So understandably, opening and closing sentences which set the right tone and are able to register the appropriate impact respectively are very important, and they vary from letter to letter, type of letter to type of letter. They vary from the kind of letter. And here reading will be, again, the stress is on reading ready-made letters and picking up relevant phraseology. That is what is very, very important. There is no die or hard and fast or set rules or set sentences rather, or kind of what you call a die in which you cast the words and you will get the desired letter. This will come through exposure to reading, varied exposure to reading. It is the application for a job that is new to us, and in application for a job, which is an important life skill, being able to write an application for a job is an important life skill. Application for a job, again, is a formal letter, and it has to be very courteous, and there are set opening sentences and closing sentences. Again, if you're applying for a job or an opening in response to an advertisement, then you will have to mention the name of the newspaper and the date, in which the advertisement was floated, and this will happen in the opening sentence, and in the last sentence or the closing sentence you will talk of your availability for an interview at the discretion of the authorities concerned. In addition to that, this will be the covering letter. This will be the covering letter. This will be the covering letter. The covering letter will also talk of the fact that you have affixed or attached a biodata or a resume or a curriculum vitae, which will carry all important relevant details, which actually the biodata will help the authorities concerned get back to you if they find you suitable. This biodata or resume or curriculum vitae will carry your particulars. In addition to your particulars, it will carry your educational qualification, your your professional qualifications, and your experience if you have been working earlier. Otherwise, you may also talk of your hobbies and anything that interests you. And it is important these days to also mention or talk of references. These are people whom the authorities concerned may get back to see if to find out if the details that you furnished are genuine or fake. So this is an important practice which is followed these days in case of formal letters. So writing letters, as I've already told, comes from practice, and what precedes practice is reading. Reading official documents, reading official letters, reading editorial. This reading will help me pick up ideas, and the way the writers have given the ideas the shape of words. That is how I have to make use of the relevant phraseology in a relevant manner, in an appropriate fashion. That is what writing letters is all about. You may find letters in newspapers. You will definitely find letters in newspapers. These days, they have the fashion of writing emails. Reading the body of an email is equally important. Whereas an email tends to be informal, but I can definitely get ideas how to express, how to put across a certain issue, and that is very important. So the important thing for you to understand at this juncture, before we sit down to write letter or before we get into this mode of writing letter, it is very important for you all to be sensitive towards a few important things. Where we use yours faithfully, where we use yours sincerely, and the difference between these two often erroneously used phrases, that is concerned authority and authority concerned. Placement of subject may be an issue. Placing the subject in the letter, sometimes it is placed before salutation, sometimes it is placed after salutation. And salutation, I have already told you, it is not an issue at all as long as it is there. But important for you to remember is the fact that salutation forms an essential part of format and it carries marks. That is what it is.